Now, welcome to the Switch Clicks Podcast, episode 92, recorded on July 12th, 2022. Today, we will be discussing all the unfortunate content revealed for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm, hopefully, your favorite host, Kaiser, and your, hopefully, your other favorite host, Nathan.
Pessimistically favorite co-host.
I think I'm more pessimistic than you.
I mean, I kind of cursed this channel by predicting so many bad things and having them all come true. Thankfully, I'm no longer being punished for that.
Yeah.
Now, as a bit of a recap, because there's been other topics these past few weeks, we kind of never got time to necessarily talk about Xenoblade Chronicles 3 in depth. We kind of always lightly touched it on it, but there was just so much.
Just
there was a whole
rapid fire.
freaking direct. There was just a whole freaking Nintendo Direct on this game. So I mean, why the heck did we not bother doing this? To be fair, I don't think anyone else was interested besides the two of us here.
Because apparently Nintendo fans hate JRPGs, alright.
Ouch.
Yeah, you're telling me I have to press A just to get through a cutscene? And I just get through several menus? Nah, in all seriousness, but for the most part. Yeah, Xenoblade 3.
I gotta admit though, I don't remember too much from the Direct other than the general details. There's so many specifics they covered within that Direct, even though it wasn't too long. And it got me super duper hyped up for this game.
I saw a giant monkey. I got super hyped up for it. Alright, it's tradition to see a giant monkey.
We've seen giant versions of literally any other animal except for a freaking monkey.
Okay, but the giant monkey, alright, Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade 2, and now Xenoblade 3, alright, level 6, level 80 something in the first area. That's what I'm talking about.
Very, that's oh my goodness. And that's the thing about this game. They have I don't know if it's safe to say they basically tried to make two games in one. But one of the main gimmicks of this game is that you get to combine two characters together into one larger, more powerful character.
A giant robot.
A giant robot, basically. Their voices sound slightly cursed, but I won't get into that. And essentially, it's meant to be for you to fight higher level enemies or something a little more large or difficult. I'm not sure if it's how it's going to play out because you're in a team of 6, but if you're going to combine all 6 players into pairs of that's basically going to be just another Xenoblade 1 in a sense.
Yes, but there's also typically if the Xeno series, right, it's 3-person party.
Yeah.
With Xenoblade 3, it's definitely a lot of differences because what's it called? I think those restricts certain bosses to kind of like the giant battles and certain bosses to grounded.
And it's something a little more on the spot type of giant battle.
Yeah. See, that's the same thing that happens in Xenogears, of course.
This is gonna
touching on that. Xeno series. It's going to be possible for me to talk about Xenogears. All right.
You're gonna have to bring up Xenogears and Xenosaga because there's no way you can. There's no way you can ignore those.
Yeah, with Xeno. Well, there was also mechs in Xenosaga, though comparatively, some of them were extremely broken, some of them were a little underpowering. But all you have to know about Xenosaga is that episode 2 killed the series. Well,
I mean, it still has a cult following, technically.
In terms of story, yeah, but everything else, you're really gotta be scraping the bottom of the barrel. All right.
Okay. I haven't really. I don't really know too much about those games, but I was considering on exploring those.
Oh yeah, all I need to know is that Jesus Christ is in the game.
Excuse me?
Oh, I mean, I wish I was joking. with
Mhm.
with how
Yeah.
they kind of view a lot of spiritual stuff
Yeah.
and with how they presented.
Mhm.
Xenoblade 1, oh my god, the artifacts, Xenoblade 2,
Yeah.
god, this game sucks. No, Xenoblade 2 is actually great if you in terms of gameplay. All
Well,
right.
I mean everything except for the tutorials. Dear gosh, I cannot get through the tutorials. Like it's fine, I can learn the game on myself, but like my goodness, the tutorials are basically like 5-page essays.
Yeah, it's not short and sweet.
No.
And then there's the UI, right? Just
Yeah,
blasting it from that's consistently an issue that I have with the Xenoblade series. I actually dropped it because it's
mhm.
not that it's too much for me to handle, it's just I want to play the game, man.
I mean, what do you think of the Xenoblade 3 UI? Have you seen it yet?
Maybe if you send a picture, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Rather,
So
you know, with the actual UI, it's a lot more compact, right?
mhm.
Like I didn't like with how Xenoblade One, with how the whole bottom of the screen is just a lot of
Oh,
stuff.
I know what you mean. Yeah, like with all the arts all like lined up there.
Yeah, and with how what's it called? The sides, right? With like blasting information, and I'm
Mhm.
happy that the text is a lot smaller,
Yeah.
although might be an issue for some people, but it's not really.
I
Hey,
mean,
if you're looking at, hey,
it
this
is on
is
the it is on the Switch. So
yeah. So imagine just getting your reading glasses on. All right, even though I don't have reading glasses, I'm geared
nah, we
toward
both
it.
have prescription glasses. That's fine.
Yeah,
But the UI, like I gotta say, it
you know,
doesn't look
it's
super
just massive
glamorous.
improvement.
Like it
It's
just
just
doesn't need to be super glamorous like the way they did for Xenoblade 2 and
yeah,
even Xenoblade 1, I'd say, or at least definitive edition. Like this one's just simplistic, and they chose like it still looks, how do I describe it? It still looks colorful, but they
I
didn't
just want to
choose the
read
old.
the information, man. I
Yeah,
don't
like you can
care.
actually read the info here. It does. It's not like overdone with crazy visuals.
I
Um,
would say crazy visuals more so just flooding the screen with everything you possibly maybe need to know.
maybe a little too many drop shadows.
Ugh.
But overall, it does look like a major improvement from uh one and especially two.
It does look like a game, yes.
Yes, it looks just like the game, and it just you're actually seeing the game for once.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
And as mentioned before, there was the whole battle system. One of the other aspects of this is how basically every party member, like normally they'd have a different set of classes, but you're basically able to let them choose any type of class in a sense. Like,
Yeah,
and it
well, in
even
terms of
changes their
archetype,
clothes. It even
really.
in terms of art type, yes. And it even goes to the point of changing their clothes to look like their
Ah,
the
yes.
other.
Yes, the three genders. There's
Oh,
DPS, tag, and woman.
I think I had a screenshot of this actually because it was such a like crazy thing. But like basically, you can have everyone wear the same clothes as the protagonist of this game, and they all look freaking crazy. Um,
Well, what if everyone's the protagonist, huh? What if there's not a single, uh,
technically, yeah, technically, yeah, but I guess I'll just consider the main guy. I forget his name. Um, yeah, like you can. It's
oh,
a little.
You mean Flynn from Shin Megami Tensei E4?
Sure.
No, like, they actually,
No.
uh, look pretty similar.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So here are their names. So
Yeah, Noah, we got Noah.
yeah, Noah. Okay, so that guy. So even the name itself, I'm not sure. Does that seem a little generic compared to a name like Shulk and Rex?
Okay, Rex is just one letter away from being Lex, okay? It could have been more generic. Or sorry, Alex, maybe.
Alex.
Yeah.
Alex.
All right.
Uh, but then Shulk. How about Shulk though? Shulk is literally Shulk.
Yeah. Yeah, but they named someone Fiora. All right.
Fiora. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I mean,
I don't know.
it's not like SNT4 where they named someone. They named the two side characters. There's Walter and Jonathan. All right. And I named the fourth party member Isabeau.
I mean, that's pretty much what this whole game is. It's everyone except Noah has a unique name that you wouldn't like normally see. Um, and then you have Noah.
Yeah, I mean we got Zeon from Gut we got Zeon from we got the Zeon from Gundam. Alright, seek Zeon on Hog.
Give
Ugh.
everyone a different nickname.
Yeah, we got what's his name? We got Mio, alright, Lance, Uni, Pion, and Senna, of course. Of course.
uh,
I'm interested more in Zeon, alright, not
yeah.
because it's a cool name, but because it's really reminiscent of certain well a certain faction from certain series I religiously watch. Unfortunately,
Oh, and there was actually a couple other characters we saw. One of them was particularly blurred out in the Xenoblade 3 Direct.
oh
Uh,
yeah, the Cosmos clone. Yeah,
right.
you can't replace Cosmos. All right, you can't. Yeah,
I I don't know. That's I don't know what they're trying to hide there,
they're not
but
hiding anything. It's
they're
just
not hiding anything.
for most part, the main designer or artist for Xenosaga and
Yeah,
also redesigns, well, most of the
yeah,
redesigns in what's it called?
yeah,
Two, Xenoblade 2, right?
yeah.
Uh, what's it called? It's on the top. Oh yeah, they did a lot of the designs, right?
Hmm.
That's for the most part. I can see how they've come back to design a new robot girl again.
Oh my goodness, please. Oh, I have very fond memories.
Of what robots in disguise?
Oh,
Uh,
um.
I'm sorry, I'm a little tired.
Now,
Little
I do have to say
tired.
though, aside from changing arts like and having combining like combinations, they still have these iconic break topple launch smash system in
Yeah,
this in this uh
if they did that, how would they separate themselves from every other RPG? All right,
that's true. Like otherwise it'd be pretty generic, I'd say.
I would say
Um
generic. It would just be another run of the mill
run of the mill.
RPG.
Um but that's the thing. Like how do you think they'll get this do you think they'll get this right and not have a boring replay strategy where you just keep rinsing and repeating?
It's not hard to be honest with any RPG, JRPG. It pretty hard take. Well, no, you got Skyrim.
Skyrim is just swinging your sword around and
No, it's not
hoping for
swing
the
your
best.
sword. It's not. No. Skyrim is more so. All right, let me just exploit the game to the fullest.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
Not,
That
yeah.
works.
For both, and with that, uh, it's not hard to for people to find exploits, or at least find really powerful strategies to trivialize the game.
Hmm.
Okay, with great example of obviously topple lock is Xenoblade in one, where you
Hmm.
could just loop topple. You could just loop your enemies to death,
Yeah.
easy. Yeah. But in two, they definitely recidified it, but there was still a lot of broken stuff in there, or
Hmm.
that you don't particularly need to do it because it's optional. You don't have to go for these super overpowered strategies, really.
Hmm.
It's just play at your own way, really.
Play at your own pace, play at your own way.
Yeah, you could be going 105% like Nathan here,
What? I personally could not do Xenoblade. Like if unless I had all the time in the world. But like
Maybe, maybe.
I have to admit, even for a game like this, I would be very tempted to, but I'm just not sure
In
because of
terms of
how
in terms of scale, right?
yeah, it's just massive. Like I cannot comprehend how much there is to do in this game.
Well, there could be less.
Well, unfortunately, there is more. That they have.
Yep.
They do have an expansion pass, like usual.
Yeah, like
Um, yeah, pretty much Tora. This is probably gonna be a whole entire game at this point. And I guess three of the four. Actually, no, the fourth one coming in the end of 2023 is pretty much going to be that big game coming out or game slash DLC.
yeah,
And I don't know what to say other than
better than three houses.
better than three houses. Sure. Yeah. And I'm obviously hoping for, a physical release because that's what they did with Tora. And that was a genius idea. Like that's the first I've heard of them ever releasing, like Nintendo ever allowing for a DLC to be released as a standalone game.
Well, that's
Um,
because it really is a standalone, right?
yeah, they pretty much
Completely.
changed the mechanics in some ways, and I'm definitely expecting them to do it for this. I mean, if they don't, that's fine. But like, if it's like a separate standalone game, I would
Or at least it feels
definitely,
like one.
yeah, if it feels like a standalone game, then I would definitely applaud them for that. Um, but going off of this, though, they really kept it quiet about what they could potentially bring to the table. They just gave us a expansion pass, price tag, and a list. Pretty much
Yeah.
that.
And
Um,
going off the list, well, a lot to take in, but maybe a
let's
lot less
take
to
it.
take out. Maybe a lot less to take out.
$30 American, which
Whatever.
is actually pretty reasonable in comparison to most other DLCs.
Yeah, but still, an expansion pass, I'm not super fond of most of them, especially if it's like, hey, I would rather just have it like give it time for, all right,
Mm.
here's your expansion pass, now give us your money.
Instead of like giving you like content, oh hey, play this for like 1 hour and then
No,
wait for
no,
the
I'm
next
talking
one.
about just wait until much later where they generate some steam and hype instead of just,
Oh, I know what you mean. Like they
yeah.
give off tiny details.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, people want, oh no, what's it called, to know what's coming up next, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
That's the whole point of the hype train.
and I'm not super big on more artificial hype with, oh yeah, here, and did they really give us, oh, maybe, of course, they don't want to give us that information, right?
Yeah, but I guess it goes both ways because like Nintendo has tried both methods where they build up hype over a long period of time, and they also did it in such a short, sudden appearance. Um,
Yeah,
I would imagine that this is something that they'll just extensively promote because Xenoblade is more of the niche target market, and
what do
they
you mean
pretty much
niche? It's
just
just a JRPG, it's just JRPGs, most of them will be niche, but it'll always find a very strong hardcore audience.
yeah, and they're just devoting a lot of their marketing towards this one specific game for that reason. And I would imagine they'd do the same for the DLC, given the situation with this game compared to something like Breath of the Wild 2, where people are like gonna buy it instantly.
People know what they're gonna get themselves into.
Yeah,
Disappointment or this is the best selling game of all time. You cannot compare.
cannot compare. And speaking of which, I guess we kind of lightly talked about this earlier, but how much do you think this is gonna be uniquely different from previous Xeno games as a whole?
No, well, I mean that's a question to have. I think it'll be more than unique
More than
comparatively,
unique?
right? With a lot of the previous Xeno games, three three person party. You,
Hmm.
you could like most other ones, you can't really switch out right,
Yeah, like it'd
and
have to be in an
you have to
like
go to
outside.
yeah outside battles stuff like that. You get your three party members. Yeah, you could go ham with a lot of customization, right?
Hmm.
Because of the Xenoblade, well, a lot of Xeno series or most JRPGs, right?
Yeah.
Like they just give you, hey, here's a character, here's what they can do. All right, now have fun. Just clearly highlighting, hey, what they can do and what they should do, right? Because with Shulk, his whole deal is being the protagonist. Of course, she's gonna be on the main team. Dunban, you do the naked Dunban strat, and he'll dodge every. No, that's a real strat. People,
I know, I've seen it
yeah,
before.
quite literally, he just runs around naked, and he dodges everything because his evasion stat is so high. I'm getting off topic, but and then of course it's ride time. He kind of draws aggro, gets enemies to attack him. It is also really good for support in terms of topple,
Hmm.
which leads to the topple lock.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh, and I'm not surprised if they're going like all in or all out in terms of hey, we're gonna give you so many options that's gonna actually be overwhelming.
Hmm.
And I don't blame them. It works.
Yeah,
It works really. Why else do people play MMOs?
that's true. Like they somehow mix it together in a way that becomes enjoyable. And well, that's pretty much the reason why I like Xenoblade. Like it's not a complete utter mess. Like once you actually understand how everything works, it works like a charm. And I think with what they're going in this game with, you know, six playable characters
At
um,
once.
at once, and like they had it well thought out in a way that you can make the gameplay pretty much any way you want to go to, or
You
like
can
any
either
strategy you'd want to go to.
yeah, you could be on the struggle bus or you could be on the struggle bus.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm always on the struggle bus, all right.
All yeah, that's so I can imagine there's going to be many more replays, like different play styles in this game. Probably it's probably going to be very broken too. Like there's going to be something out there that's going to be like beyond comprehension. Um,
Oh no, I would say beyond comprehension, it's more so, hey, you should play this way. No way,
you
man.
should
This
play
is more
this way.
better. This strategy is much better. Okay, and compared to a lot of other JRPGs, right? It's more so, hey, so this build works. I don't think anyone else could use any other one.
The Noah costume strats. Everyone's rather. Oh, and everyone takes Noah's art.
Oh no, I'm not talking about oh no, not the Noah strat. Sorry, the protagonist strat.
The protagonist strats.
Yeah, you gotta get your red coat. You gotta get your red
Every
coat and your giant
full
sword.
red coat team.
Oh yeah, we're gonna call it the Red Rain. I was gonna say Red Rain is something else, but we don't. I forgot
Just
what
leave
the
it. Let's leave it
content
at
is
Red
called.
Rain.
The Red Rain of Terror.
Red Rain of Terror, sure.
Yeah,
Although it is, yeah, that works. Um, so I guess that leaves that to what do you think? How good do you think this game will become?
I think it'll be
Um,
great. Just finally saying it. A
finally
lot of
saying
the
it
stuff is very promising, right?
like this
Like,
is a genuine great that you're talking about.
well, yeah, comparatively into a lot of other JRPGs, some fall flat on their face. These don't even make it across the finish line. I
Hmm.
And with Xenoblade 3, right? I'm not surprised that I'm not gonna question that they'll make the gameplay as varied and fun as possible.
Hmm.
Well, Monolith Soft has had a hand in making a lot of great games, right?
Yep.
Like, especially with like combat, especially combat, really. You have people may or may not recognize the series Project X Zone. Oh, also, and its derivatives is Namco cross Capcom, and Endless Frontier.
just to name a few.
Yeah. And the combat systems in those games are very fun because of how it works. With,
Hmm.
menu, obviously you got your menuing, but it's more so the
Yeah.
combos system, all right. You got your bombos, those that can actually go on for a really long time. But it has,
Hmm.
obviously you got your stamina stuff to balance things out.
Yeah. And do you think Nintendo, like, do you think with how Nintendo's been kind of getting Monolith to do all the like side projects like with their other big releases, do you think Monolith should have a bite towards combat in other Nintendo games?
Well, that's hard to say because for one, on the on combat is gonna vary depending on what the kind of game is, right?
Hmm.
If it's a Kirby game, no,
No.
right? Because love the obviously the biggest issue with developing a well how do I put this to words? Words developing progression, right?
Yeah.
It's all about level building. With
Hmm.
Monolith Soft, they go very linear, but Nintendo is more non-linear in some cases, really,
Yeah.
where there's not a set path with most Nintendo games, right? You could do
Yeah.
as long as you
Especially
get
of
to the end
recently.
goal,
Yep.
as long as you get to the end goal, right?
Hmm.
But with a lot of JRPGs, it's just one straight path that can really greatly affect how they do level design. I don't
Hmm.
doubt that the gameplay will be great. I don't doubt that at all.
Hmm.
It's just a matter of how a Monolith Soft would design them because their design philosophy is obviously much more different than Nintendo's.
Yeah, like especially with something like Breath of the Wild, where um, Monolith did all the landscaping, but they never touched the combat because combat there was all based towards skill, which also allowed you to explore pretty much anywhere around the map. And
Yeah.
based on what you said, like I think it would make sense for them not to work on not to work on the combat if it's not something that's within their philosophy.
Yeah. Especially with how large Breath of the Wild is.
Hmm.
It, I don't doubt that they'll get too lost with but they do have like very open areas too.
Hmm.
With one of the area with a lot of their shoot, I was gonna say, yeah,
Well,
a lot of their world areas really.
I mean, that's pretty much with every game that Monolith's worked on. Like for Nintendo, uh, Nintendo's basically like told them to work on the landscaping and level design. Um, and I gotta say, even for that, every level is designed in such a way that it looks like an open world, but can also be done in a linear way. Um,
Absolutely.
but at the end of the day, it doesn't affect the combats, which is based on what type of game the developers want it to be.
Yeah, and obviously the Xenoblade is very focused on kind of auto attacking stuff, really.
Hmm.
With how they kind of structured around team compositions.
Yeah, and you're more focused on your team rather than, just mashing a button or choosing a attack. Now, I guess close this off here. Tentatively speaking, or at least based on your first impressions, what rank on a play by tier list would you give this?
There's not enough information for me to put a tier list, right? I
Well, yeah,
think the game is looks great. I think it looks fun, but that I can't just say what I think. I just need to get in my own hands to really decide anything. Like
EBA.
that's well, yeah, that's why for most of my games, right? Well, the
Hmm.
games that I'm probably going to review in the future,
Hint,
I
hint.
want to get my hands onto them and really just feel them out before I can make any real decision. It's not just, oh yeah, this game looks great. I'm gonna make it S tier. Look at what happened to
Mm.
so many other games, right?
Yeah, that's very true. Some games just they unfortunately disappointed, and some other games.
You either try to oversell or they try to oversell but undersell, or
Yep.
they're just a whole slew of issues, really. I'm
Marketed completely different than what they were actually.
but Three Houses.
Three Houses is a whole different beast, and I'm pretty sure you guys already had a pretty interesting review on that.
That would have gone harder.
Oh, you're suggesting that you held back on that game?
No, not at all. Well, in a way that my language was appropriate.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. But in turn, I feel like Monolith will deliver on most of their promises on the gameplay front, but
Hmm.
in terms of story, that we're gonna have to wait for that on that. Because
Yeah, we don't
I'm
really
gonna
know
be
much.
I'm gonna be honest, when I play games, sometimes the story does help me actually stay engaged.
Oh,
Eh,
same here. Story and also music for me as well. Like it's
Oh no,
basically what makes me
don't
disregard.
don't doubt that the music will not be
Oh,
good. Right.
I've heard the music in this already, and it's killer. It's freaking amazing. Like I cannot turn away the music from this. Um, but yeah, music and story is ultimately what blinds me from gameplay in certain games. Uh, there's a reason why I reviewed a certain game twice in Play by Tier, but we won't get to that.
Almost definitely not yet, at least. For me,
Yeah.
when it comes to music, quite literally the first day, sometimes when I boot up Xenoblade 1, it's just I
Hmm.
just listen to menu music,
Yeah, the menu music itself is already freaking amazing.
and then I just
Both games,
and then,
well, one and
and
two.
then after
I've never.
like the first loop, I just quite literally just start playing the game. Just want
Yeah,
basketball. Quite literally when my friend suggested, "Hey, what should I do when I get Xenoblade 1?" I just say,
listen to stay in the title screen.
Okay, so you know the title screen, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
listen to it.
listen to it.
All right,
There you
listen
go.
to the whole
That's the
thing.
advice. That's the advice. Okay, everyone. Okay, when you play Xenoblade Chronicles, just
One,
let one. Not so much two
take
because
it all in, take it all in,
take
take it
it
all
all
in.
in where you start the game.
Yeah, and well, honestly, that concludes everything. Really,
Yeah.
our hopes, our wishes, and honestly, the direction of the game, and it's
Hmm.
possible. And I would say possible. It is gonna have a future, of course.
Yeah.
And just the general direction, future, in our quote unquote predictions, is with how we really feel about this game when it does
Yeah.
come out.
When it does come out, which is actually
Yeah.
very soon, as of when we're recording this, two
Oh
weeks.
yeah, let's give you a nice 2 weeks. Oh, I sure
Yep.
can't wait to not play this game because Nathan here is gonna be glued to it.
Right. Right. Yeah. We'll have to
Oh,
see
yeah.
about that. We'll have to see what happens.
Alright, thank you for joining us in discussing Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now, we would love it if you could follow us on Twitter and listen to future episodes on Spotify and iTunes. Join our new community Discord server to continue today's discussion, and we'll see you next time on the Switch Clicks Podcast.